As for how all those changes have affected America's love affair with Chevrolet, well, over the past 40 years combined, we've sold more cars than anyone else. And today,
the heartbeat of America, growing stronger every day.
we're still America's best-selling cars.
Ooh, the heartbeat of America.
Chevrolet. That's today's Chevrolet.
In 1787, they signed their names to the Constitution. By keeping us a free nation, a free people, it guarantees every American the opportunity to succeed. Celebrate 200 years of America's success, protected by the Constitution. Please read it. Learn more about it. For your free copy of the official commemorative edition, write to Citicorp. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
I know choosing a medicine is an important family decision, but for me, it's also an easy decision. The day my son was born was the first time that I was given Tylenol. It took care of the pain without irritating my stomach like aspirin or even ibuprofen can. Getting Tylenol that day really impressed me. When a hospital gives it to you, that's the best reason of all to trust Tylenol. I know it is for my family.
Trust Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most. If you think Baby M has caused the stir, wait till you hear about babies M and M. 60 Minutes was there before they were born. A brand new season starts Sunday on CBS.
Monday.
Haven't you shoved enough of these people out into the streets already?
There are some people the world would rather forget.
Oh, you can take care of me?
The season premiere of Cagney and Lacey.
Friday, September 25th, it's the best of both worlds, from Los Angeles to London. The #1 acts, the hottest stars, the latest chart breakers, David Bowie and Mick Jagger, two music legends performing on two separate continents. Rocked into the 90s with Top of the Pops, Friday on CBS Late Night.
CBS, oh yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host for this evening, the distinguished television journalist and news commentator, Mr. Walter Cronkite.
Chief Justice Berger, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, in the history of recorded time, there are just a handful of phrases that are familiar and meaningful to generations of people throughout the world. One of the most recognizable is an unadorned three-word fragment that contains the essence of what our nation is all about. The three words are, "We the people." We've heard them often over the past year, and particularly during this period of ceremony celebrating the anniversary of our remarkable Constitution. This noble document has been the model for more than 90% of the constitutions existing in the world today. We pay homage to the men who persevered against great odds to create and to support this statement of unity and faith. And in honoring them, we honor all men and women who continue to believe in the ability of the people to govern themselves. Now, just who and what do we mean when we say, we the people? Well, for one thing, we mean all the people gathered here tonight in this historic meeting place, and those of you gathered in front of your television sets at home. But we mean also all those people around the world who still believe in the dignity of the individual and believe in the government's role in heeding the will of the majority while respecting the needs of the minority. We the people are the ones who died on foreign soil to sustain this ideal, to defend it against those who would rule by edict instead of popular vote. We the people are the ones who cherish the right to complain and criticize and demonstrate against the law of the land while living under the very laws we may be criticizing. We the people are the ones who elect the lawmakers, support our presidents, and agree to abide by the decisions of the Supreme Court. We the people are the ones who make America the United States. And tonight, this celebration is for us. And the reason for all this celebrating, of course, began right here in Philadelphia for the small group of citizens who had no idea that they were embarking on such an historic mission 2 centuries ago. With the aid of your imaginations now, let us go back to Philadelphia and assume that you are there.
Philadelphia, that's the place where it was born. Philadelphia, Philadelphia, that's the place where history gave birth to the Declaration of Independence that freed this nation from English rule. Yes, the Declaration of Independence decreed this nation from English rule. Philadelphia, Philadelphia, that's where it all began. That's where it all began. Yes, yes. That's the place where people came. People came to sign their name to the Constitution of these United States, a document that would make us great. The Constitution of these United States, a proper reason to celebrate. Philadelphia, Philadelphia, that's where it all began. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. September 17th, 1787. Philadelphia is hot. It's been this way and full of mosquitoes. Full of mosquitoes. It's been this way for the past 4 months that this Constitutional Convention has been in session over there in the State House. Rumor has it that today they're signing it and heading home. It's just a rumor because no press has been allowed inside. Even the windows have been kept shut so that, according to them, nosy reporters like myself don't eavesdrop and make their job even harder by bringing the debates to the streets. Well, maybe they're right. But if I don't get an angle on this story soon, I'm not going to have a job. You know, I almost had it last month when I heard... Excuse me. I heard that they were going to bring over the second son of George III to be the new American king. Yeah! Ben Franklin said it wasn't true. Then I heard that the New York delegation, the whole New England delegation, was going to walk out, form its own country. It hasn't happened yet. Let's see. 38 of the original 55 delegates have made it to the end. 38. Maybe that's it. The 17 who couldn't take the heat. No, that's terrible, isn't it? That's... quotes. I need quotes. The personal touch. There's Alexander Hamilton from New York. Excuse me, sir. I'm from the New York Gazette. And I wonder if you could tell us in 50 words or less, because I'm running out of paper here, your feelings on this special day.
This is a happy day for me.
Happy day.
For me personally.
Yeah, right.
Because for 7 years I pushed and pleaded, trying to draw attention to the fact that 13 sovereign states could only breed dissension.
Right.
Now successfully we've had a constitutional convention, and the deduction bring me satisfaction.
Well, you have 3 words left.
Thanks a lot.
That does it. It's the start. It's a beginning. And the concept is very revolutionary. We have brought forth a nation where there wasn't one before. 13 states united with the hope of many more, where the people always have the upper hand. It's a brand new country. Let's see. Now, Hamilton calls it a success. Now, there's no bite, there's no urgency. There's James Madison from Virginia. Rumor had it that he was the heart and soul of a Virginia plan for the Constitution, which has been the backbone for the proceedings here. Now, I did overhear some of the delegates from New Jersey arguing against it, but then they saw me and they made me get off the windowsill. Hey, I was just trying to do my job. Excuse me, Mr. Madison, I'm from the Virginia Beaver.
I'd love to stop and chat with you, but I really have to run. But I'd stop and chew the fat with you, but there's work that's still undone.
Right.
You see, I've had a journal of the entire proceedings. My notes are quite complete, for I attended all the meetings. Transcribing all of them will take half the night. But by George, the story's here in black and white.
A journal? That's very interesting, sir. I'm sure the folks back in your own home state would love to have a first peek at... Don't you have enough of them? Where'd he ever find the time? I heard he made over 161 speeches, too. Wait a minute. There's another young fella here who made even more speeches. Gouverneur Morris from New Jersey. Maybe I can get something from him. Let's see. His friends call him Gouverneur. He's rich, he's single, and the rumor is he has a lusty appetite for the ladies. He's got this peg leg, and I heard that he lost his leg when he fell off a horse trying to get away from a jealous husband.
Actually, it was several husbands.
Oh, can I quote you, Gouverneur?
You can call me Mr. Morris.
Yes, sir. But I also heard you were the man who actually put pen to paper and wrote the Constitution. Is that true?
That's right.
Excuse me. I'm from the New Jersey Tatler, and I thought, wouldn't it be appropriate if the folks back in your own home state had a first peek at what... No. Well, maybe you could at least give us some of the words you use to form.
To form, establish, ensure, provide, promote, secure, ordain. I chose these words to make it clear just what we think we have accomplished here. But the words of which I'm proudest, the ones we shout the loudest are. We, the people of the United States. It's a start. It's a beginning. And the concept is very revolutionary. We have brought forth a nation where there wasn't one before. 13 states united with the hope of many more, where the people always have the upper hand. It's a brand new country. Brand new country. Brand new. My God. There's George Washington from Virginia. I heard this convention almost didn't get off the ground until he agreed to come. His presence alone gave a certain legitimacy to the proceedings here. Hey, that's a good angle, yeah. Once here, he was elected to preside over the convention. Now, in that position, he wasn't supposed to take sides, but rumor has it that almost every night down at the Indian Queen Tavern, you could have seen him relaxing with a glass of Madeira in his hand in passionate conversation. For my money, it was George Washington who really made this miracle in Philadelphia happen. Okay, I'm a little prejudiced. We're both about the same height, you see. Excuse me, General. I'm from the Virginian. You must be looking forward to your trip home, sir.
Yes, sir. I was reluctant to leave Mount Vernon. I'd hoped my public life had come to a conclusion. But I was conscious of the fact that the states were not united. They were headed down a perilous path that surely must be righted. Though I must admit I felt unqualified. I was honored to be chosen to preside.
Thank you, General. Thank you very much. Washington is humbled by Look over there, that's Dr. Benjamin Franklin from Pennsylvania here. You see those 4 guys carrying him? They're convicts from the Walnut Street jail. It's true. He's been coming and going like this every day for the past 4 months. And for an 81-year-old man suffering from gout, it hasn't been easy. My guess is that he has dispensed a great deal of wisdom over the past 4 months. Dr. Franklin? Excuse me, I'm from the Pennsylvania Evening Star, and I thought...
Evening Star? Which one is that?
Oh, no, it's the Midday Star. The morning, the very early morning sun. Sir, I'm sorry. I'm from a very small hometown newspaper I'm sure you've never heard of.
How can I help you, young man?
Well, I just can't find the right words to explain.
There have been times when I've been at a loss like you, son, but I have never been at a loss for words. I have reached the ripe old age of 81. And when I look back upon the things I've done, I am pleased at what I see there. 'Twas a privilege to be there and observe the splendor of the rising sun. But to help in the creation of a new united nation is the thing of which I'm proudest. Second to none. Maybe it isn't perfect, but what is, huh?
Yes, sir.
As I said to General Washington, I consent, sir, to this Constitution because I expect no better and because I am not sure it is not the best. I hope you got what you wanted, son.
Thank you, sir. That's it. Franklin says it's the best. September 17, 1787. Despite the heat and the mosquitoes, there is a feeling of relief here in Philadelphia as the delegates make their way back to their respective states. But rumor has it, now the real battle will begin, the battle for ratification. If this document is as controversial as this reporter has been led to believe it is, the argument and debate that will surely encircle these great men for the months to come will be loud enough to be heard around the world.
With you, but I really have to run. Let's up and through the battle. I chose these words to make the state will not be down upon every habit. I'm driving all of these will take half 1 mile along.
Of the United States. It's a start, it's a beginning, and the concept is very revolutionary. We have brought more of a nation where there was one before. 13 states united with the hope of many more, where the people always have the upper hand.
Philadelphia. Philadelphia. That's where it all began. This grand experiment. This United States of America.
Now that we have the situation in perspective, let's flash forward 200 years. It's my privilege to introduce the chairman of the Commission on the Bicentennial of the United States Constitution, who by a wonderful coincidence happens to be celebrating his 80th birthday today, the retired Chief Justice of the United States, Warren E. Burger.
Thank you, Walter Cronkite. Just before we came in, he prompted me to remind this distinguished audience and any who may hear it that this is not the finale of the Bicentennial, but the kickoff, the beginning. This program on the Constitutional Bicentennial will continue through 1991. Now, in these eloquent words that you have heard tonight, you have heard about these remarkable 55 men and those who were here 200 years ago this afternoon to sign that utterly new and remarkable document, the first of its kind in all of human history. Whether those men knew it or not, and whether they thought of it, but I suspect they did, they were speaking for the whole human race, not just for Americans, not just for those 3-4 million people that they represented, but for the whole human race, because the Creator intended all people to be free. And that is the objective. And as we look ahead, that's what we must do to set an example for the world in terms of freedom and opportunity.
How does the advanced new Chevy half-ton stand up to Ford? Chevy gives you more standard power than Ford, more cab room, more shoulder room, more two-sided galvanized steel, new two-tier loading, and a bigger, heavier frame. So how does Ford stand up to the first all-new full-size pickup introduced in this decade?
Not very well.
The heartbeat of America.
Test drive it.
That's today's Chevy truck.
The way I see it, the world's a tough place. And to succeed, you need every little edge you can get. That's why I joined the Army. Oh, not just for the college money they're giving me, but for something else that's going to help me stick to it until I graduate. And maybe help me really make something of my life. If there was one good reason to join, I never even thought about that day I signed up. Being in the Army and being here has helped me understand the value of something I've taken for granted all my life. Just looking at those people over there, I know there's one place a lot of them would give their right arm to be. These 3 years didn't just get me ready for college. They got me ready for life.
200 years ago, our Constitution was born. And with it, the promise that we, the people, could live in freedom as one nation. To capture the spirit of that precious promise, the United States Mint has created the official United States Constitution coins in silver or gold. Now and forever, hold on to the promise at Sears Banks and Savings and Loans.
We the People 200 will continue.
Monday on Frank's Place.
I'm back.
Hey, he's back! Woo! And Frank's Place is hopping with some very special guests. Frank's Place. Then,
Guess what, everybody? I'm in love.
will Kate approve of Emma's new boyfriend?
Put the knife down, Kate.
And on Newhart, Larry's ousted in a Daryl uprising.
And I'm his other brother, Larry.
Why don't good things ever happen to us?
Then,
I said I could pick you up. Perceptive for his age, isn't it?
Designing Women, Monday.
This is CBS.
Everybody loves to make birthday wishes, but now you don't have to wish for a new Oldsmobile. You can get a spectacular 90th birthday deal, plus low discount financing on a new Cutlass, the #1 selling nameplate. Or a Delta 88, the #1 full-size car, during Oldsmobile's 90th birthday celebration. But hurry, 1.9% financing or up to $1,000 cash back ends September 30th at your Olds Connection dealer. So take advantage of their 90th birthday deals now. And you can have your cake and eat it too.
Hi. I just moved in next door. Could I borrow a Diet Pepsi?
Sure.
Be right with you. When you go all out for taste, the taste to go out for is Diet Pepsi.
You okay in there?
Here's your Diet Pepsi.
Thanks. I hope it wasn't too much trouble.
No trouble at all. Diet Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
The Constitution's birthday party tonight at 11.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Yakov Smirnoff.
Hi, my name is Yakov Smirnoff, and I am originally from the Soviet Union. Thank you very much. But I'm an American now. It's a great honor for me to be here tonight, because after swearing me in as a citizen at the last year 4th of July ceremony at the Statue of Liberty, Chief Justice Warren Burger spoke 3 words that I'll never forget. He said, "My fellow Americans." And for the first time in my life, I knew he meant me. See, America made me feel wanted. In Russia, I was wanted. It was a different feeling. That moment, I realized that I had finally been given my freedom of speech. And first thought from my mind, as a new American, I hate those foreigners. They come here and take our jobs. It's a great feeling to have freedom of speech. In Soviet Union now, because of glasnost, they also have freedom of speech. But here you have freedom after you speak. It's a nice little feature. After taking an oath of allegiance, I received my citizenship certificate. And someone also gave me another piece of paper, and they said, "This is your Bill of Rights." Well, at first I got worried, what if I didn't have enough to pay this bill? I was told that it wasn't that kind of a bill and I didn't owe anything. That was hard for me to understand. What do you call something that gives you the most priceless gift on earth for free? And then I realized you call it the Constitution. Thank you. Thank you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce a gentleman who has taken right of free speech and made a wonderful career out of it. Tonight he will use his unusual talent to give voice to some of the most enduring words ever written. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rich Little.
The year is 1787. The place, the State House, Chestnut Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As I see it now, speaking person to person, George Washington was the key to success at the Constitutional Convention. While others urged caution, he said, "If to please the people we offer what we ourselves disapprove, how can we afterwards defend our work? Let us raise a standard to which the wise and honest can repair."
Never has so much been owed by so many to so few. I said these words nearly 150 years after that fateful convention in Philadelphia. But it could have applied equally as well to the heroes of that hot summer of '87. Washington, Madison, Hamilton, and Ben Franklin. Great men doing great deeds for what they did for their country. It could be said, this was their finest hour. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And that was something to think about back then, too. Would large states be willing to relinquish power for a greater cause? Would small states enter into an agreement that threatened their representation because of their size? But they all knew in that secret place where truth abides that there was a greater good to come out of taking the greater risk. And so they stayed on to discuss and compromise and were soon able to say with pride, "I am an American." An American, you say? Well, I'm a Yankee Doodle Janty. Yankee Doodle, do or die. You can't get any more American than that. And most of the guys who were meeting in Philly knew what it meant to fight for their country, even before it was a country. My hat is off to you, gentlemen. Never fear. Your fellow Americans will never forget you.
My fellow Americans, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. I could have said these words when our country was just 13 states. Then the fear was in setting up a nation. The fear of giving power to the people and justice to all citizens. But they rose to the occasion, and because of their courage, September 17, 1787 is a day that will live not in infamy, but in glory.
Glory. Well, what price glory and what price justice? When I played Mr. Lincoln, I learned a lot about that war that was anything but civil. Many died on both sides, but at least we resolved that those dead shall not have died in vain. And this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom. And something about this government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Some men see things as they are and say, why? Others see things that could be and say, why not? A vision is not an exclusive property of any age or any group. Among the 55 delegates in Philadelphia 2 centuries ago were men in their 20s and in their 80s. And together, they had the collective wisdom of the centuries. And when they saw what could be, they chose to say, why not?
And live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. It is a dream that began over 200 years ago and is still taking shape years after my death. I have a dream.
As the wish was then on the night of September 17, 1787, so the wish is tonight. For the fate of our country, America, we say good night and good luck.
Patriotic songs are a part of every great event in our history. On occasion, they've served to lift the spirit of those fighting for a cause, and other times they've expressed the pride of the nation. This event also has a theme song. It is noble and stirring, and like all music, it's better sung than talked about. To perform the song called We the People, we enlist the talents of 3 artists. Ladies and gentlemen, John Schneider, Marilyn McCoo, and Lee Greenwood, along with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, will be joined by a group of citizens who are truly we the people.
And bloodied by the redcoats' guns, I faced the blades of bayonets. I was the father, I was the son. I stood my ground in Lexington and conquered, braved the bitter cold at Valley Forge. I wept for the widows of patriots. I lost my life, I won the war. We the people,
of the blessings that were to us all. I formed a more perfect freedom met the challenges of less enlightened men. I fought for liberty and justice, not with the sword, but with the pen. We the people was written by great men. We the people, you must treat me once again. We the people, the law by which we live. We the people, your constitution, my words made for
I live now in the heart of all America, in the minds of those who would be free. I am the voice of countless millions. Oh, I am you, and you are me. I will be there for the children of our children, to shoulder the burdens they must bear. Oh, but even great defenders need defending. You must stand guard. You've got to
We the people was written by great men. We the people must treat me once again. We the people, the law by which we live. We the people, your constitution, my words mean for
Will continue.